Good afternoon, friends. I'm Father Jim Para from Grace Episcopal Church in Traverse City, Michigan, and this is Comfort and Courage, our weekly midday prayer and reflection and nourishment that we are doing on Thursdays at noon. So welcome if you are with me right now, or if you are going to be joining me on the recorded version later. Today, we're going to continue on in our Celtic Treasure prayer book. We are on day, I believe, 9, or day 2 of the second week, which is a continuing paraphrase of Genesis, as well as some wonderful and mindful, pieces of liturgy and prayer. It has been a long and an active week. Lots to get done around the church. Lots going on in our community. And so I am just thankful to be here with you for a moment of breathing and rest and peace, as well as reflection. And so the first thing, let me go ahead and I'm going to light my candle, as we do. Let's see here. And someday I guess I better do something about the lighting in here. It worked better during the summer. Anyway, here's my sort of kitschy Celtic candle holder. It's nice to have this for my noonday prayers. And then I actually decided to kind of upgrade my prayer space a little bit this week. I went ahead and prepared a hot coal, which takes a few moments. And I have this incense that was made at Holy Cross Monastery in West Park, New York, where I think I've mentioned every now and then I used to frequent for silent retreats. If you know me, you know that going on a silent retreat is pretty epic for someone like me who talks as much as I do. Let's see, that should be enough. There we go. Oh, it smells wonderful. Nope, too much. I'll set it over here. So today I'm going to be using a passage from my friend Gordon Atkinson and his old blog, Real Live Preacher, and I'm going to read a very short essay that he wrote on forgiveness. And I feel like anytime that I write something about forgiveness, the thing that I always want to emphasize is that I think we've had this delusion in the modern world that forgiveness means that you are prepared to save someone from the consequences of their actions. And I think that that is the furthest thing from the truth. I think that to forgive means that you accept someone for who they are and for what they have done, and that you are willing to be in relationship with them in whatever way is available, considering the behaviors and the rifts involved. So often in abusive relationships, people will talk about forgiving and forgetting, or forgiveness as being the process of moving on as if something hadn't happened. And I think that couldn't be farther from the reality. We are all broken and fallen people, and to truly forgive someone is to love them with their faults, and that includes to sort of work with them. And sometimes working with someone means to not allow them access to the opportunity to be abusive or, whatever. So I guess I always feel that I want to preface anything about forgiveness with this notion that to forgive never, ever means to put one's self in harm's way. That is it's a different kind of sacrifice, and one that is not usually called upon in relationships in their building. All right, so I've got my candle lit. As you can see, I've got my incense blowing. Swear to God, I will not set a fire alarm off. Um, and here we are, day 2, the second week of our book. We light a light in the name of the God who creates life, in the name of the Savior who creates life, in the name, we light a light in the name of the God who creates life, in the name of the Savior who loves life, in the name of the Spirit who is the fire of life. Let us be still and aware of God's presence within us and all around us. Eve, the mother of all the living, gave birth to a child. There were tears of joy and pain at the birth, and her children also had children, and they too knew sorrow and delight. After many generations, there was Abraham and Sarah who were childless. But in a dream, God came to Abraham and said, "Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Look to heaven and count the stars. So shall your family be, and in you all the people of the earth shall be blessed." Abraham believed God, and yet for many years nothing happened. Finally, when he was an old man sitting alone by his tent, 3 messengers of God appeared to him. Abraham invited them to rest under the shade of his tree. He washed their feet and gave them bread to eat and milk to drink. "Where is your wife Sarah?" asked one of the visitors. "Oh, she's in the tent," Abraham replied. "Why do you ask?" "Because when I return to you in next season," said the messenger, "Sarah shall have a son." Now Sarah had been listening at the entrance to the tent, and she laughed to herself. "Ha! At such an age shall I bear a child?" And the messenger said, "Why does Sarah laugh? Is there anything too wonderful for God?" And Sarah did conceive. And the next season she gave birth to a son, and they called him Isaac, which means laughter. "God has brought laughter for me," said Sarah. "Everyone who hears will laugh with me." And the child grew and became strong, and through him a nation was born. Now, an essay from the old Real Life Preacher blog by Gordon Atkinson, simply called Forgiveness. I think it's useful because I think for many right now, the ability to hold and to act on grudges and slights, in some places it's almost becoming a virtue, and it is not. And so, on behalf of God and the world, I invite anyone who might wish to do so to make letting go of grievance a spiritual discipline. Forgiveness, says Gordon, is the healing of wounds caused by another. You choose to let go of a past wrong and no longer be hurt by it. Forgiveness is a strong move to make, like turning your shoulders sideways to walk quickly on a crowded sidewalk. It's your move. It doesn't really matter if the person who hurts you deserves to be forgiven. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. You have things to do, and you want to move on with your life. You can't forget, of course. That's not even possible. But forgiving has nothing to do with forgetting. You should remember everything and learn from it. Forgiveness is a goodness in the middle of remembering. Above all, forgiveness is a series of choices you make. You choose not to seek revenge or fantasize about it. You choose not to talk badly about the person who hurt you or wish for them evil. You choose to let go of your anger and not to feed upon it. Shedding anger takes time and practice, so you begin by choosing to move in that direction. If you are strong enough, you can choose to wish that person well. If these choices seem impossible to you, you might start by choosing to pray for the person who wronged you. And it's completely okay to pray for someone even if you don't think that God exists. You should be quiet about your forgiveness, except with close friends. If you need to tell the story, you have not fully arrived. Choose not to tell the story until you no longer want to. One last thing. Forgiveness does not always lead to a healed relationship. Some people are not capable of love and, in fact, feed on conflict and enjoy causing pain in others. Be prepared to let go of some relationships as you let go of your anger. Wish them well and let them go their way. And whatever happens, always remember that forgiveness is good for your soul. Sort of a shorter and more poignant bit than I've been doing lately. In the silence of our hearts, or in spoken words, let us give gifts. Let us give thanks for the gift of this day and pray for the life of the world. I am praying for all of us to hold our offenses lightly, to recognize that while forgiveness does not always result in a healed relationship, that it often does, and it is often necessary. Coming together with people after adversity and after conflict is a spiritual discipline, if it is to be done with authenticity. I think we need to pray through that often in these times. So I'm praying for the peacemakers, not just those who protest and demand peace in a national, global, socio-political sense, but for those who seek authentic relationship and reconciliation and outspoken love in their own families and in your own relationships, and friendships, and communities. Ways to speak our important truths, to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with all those around us. Hope and fear, laughter and tears have been part of our journey. Joy and pain, longing and doubt meet on the pathway. Often we do not believe, O God. Sometimes we doubt that your promises can be true. Grant us and our world the freedom to laugh, the courage to cry, the heart to be open, and the faith to believe. The blessings of heaven, the blessings of earth, the blessings of sea and sky on those we love this day and on every human family. The gifts of heaven, the gifts of earth, the gifts of sea and sky. Until I see you again, whether in person or online, may the peace of the Lord be always with you.